For those of you that are thinking about going into the comments and complaining, just remember, below are some chapters that you can just move forward through, and you don't have to watch all of this Marius and Leandro banter. Today's episode is sponsored by ourselves. One of the most important things about cocktails is their presentation. And your garnish game can really make or break that presentation. So Marius and I decided that we wanted to start making some dehydrated fruit. Not only are they beautiful to look at, they're pretty long lasting, and they're functional garnishes. All of our citrus are sourced locally, and this is a really good way to help the channel. The garnishes are made in small batches. They're essentially made to order. So head to the shop, and no coupon code needed because they're amazingly priced and it helps the channel. So we're doing a cocktail today called the Cherry Bounce. The Cherry Bounce is the signature cocktail of this place called the Comstock Saloon in San Francisco. I just found out that my good friend Chris Day works there. So if anyone's in the San Francisco area, go say howdy-ho to, I don't know why I did the Mr. Hanky thing, but go say howdy-ho to Chris for me. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, if you're a long-time viewer, you might remember him from.
He's been in a couple of different videos over the time. Yeah.
It was it a butterbeer? There was like a Harry Potter.
We did a Harry Potter We did his butterbeer video.
Yeah, that's an interesting video.
Which is an interesting video. He was the brand ambassador for Black Cow vodka, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is a vodka made out of the byproduct of cheese making. So like a cheese making family in England took all the byproducts, the curds or whatever that separated, and started to like distill it, like ferment and distill it. And so it's made out of milk, even though it's completely lactose free because it's a distilled product. That's an interesting product. Not a product we used, although we do have a bottle of Black Cow vodka here.
Yeah.
And it does have sort of a creaminess to it, which is kind of cool.
And then he did the video all by himself too.
Yes, because what a lot of people don't understand about the Educated Barfly was that originally it was going to be me behind the camera featuring bartenders that I know and love and think are talented, and that was the original one. So we did one with Aaaand Melendrez. We did one with Chris Day doing his butterbeer cocktail after we had done the original 1600s, whatever butterbeer. Today we're making the Comstock's version of the Cherry Bounce. And this one came about when the owner, Johnny Raglan, was talking to a regular, and he was like, oh, I heard of this cocktail that they do at this mid-century, like back in the 1950s in Hollywood, there was this mid-century Hollywood restaurant that used to do a Cherry Bounce with brandied cherries. And champagne. And so he was like, got to thinking, I'm gonna do one of those. And he kind of spec'd it on that. But what a lot of people don't understand is that the Cherry Bounce is not what a lot of people don't understand. I think everyone understands this, but what a lot of people don't know, that's where I was going with that, is that the Cherry Bounce is an old cocktail that goes all the way back to the colonial era. Actually goes back to pre-colonial England. It then hopped the pond to America during the colonial days, and it became the favorite drink of George Washington, and it was a brandy, like a cherry liqueur, like brandy drink.
So it kind of predates the cocktail, kind of almost.
It 100% predates the cocktail by a long time, by like probably 100 years. Martha Washington had her own Cherry Bounce recipe, which has actually been speculated, and there is some evidence that it was actually one of the enslaved people that worked for the Washingtons that actually created the recipe. And that recipe exists to this day. So we are definitely gonna make that recipe, but we're not gonna make it now because it takes months of, stewing cherries and brandy, and there's like a whole thing that you have to do. But we will make it because I think that'll be kind of not only an interesting video, but also a very fun video to do, and also a delicious one. And we like to make delicious videos.
And George Washington had a thing for cherries, didn't he? He had he
had a cherry tree, and then his son, he chopped down a cherry tree and then got in trouble for it. And then wasn't there some
There was something about
there's a story around chopping the cherry tree down, but also the story, if you talk to historians, is bullshit. It's there is some.
He also didn't have wooden teeth either.
He didn't have wooden teeth?
No.
What was the whole wooden teeth? I remember that there was a George Washington wooden teeth thing, but I don't know what. I don't remember what the story is.
He did have teeth, but I think they were from dead people. But I guess maybe in the wooden thing.
All his teeth rotted out because they didn't brush their teeth back then. Just everybody's teeth were rotten.
Something, yeah. I only know about the cherry tree from Day of the Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle.
But it's something about wasn't there some exclamation of I shall not tell a lie.
I cannot tell a lie.
I cannot tell a lie. I cut the cherry tree down or something.
Yeah, something.
But also this is a story that popped up as as like a fable to get children to be honest, but it is 100% bullshit. Like I think he did cut the cherry tree down and then got in trouble or spanked or whatever. But like the whole "I shall not tell a lie" thing or "I cannot tell a lie" thing is complete bullshit.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Hopefully we're not equating two different. Like we should look this up because I don't know if we're equating two different historical. Because this is straight off the dome right now. Like no research has gone into this.
Well, yeah, I'm basing this on the Day of the Tentacle. Which is, did you ever play that game?
No.
Okay.
What's Day of the Tentacle? I thought you didn't play. Is it a video game?
It's Maniac Mansion Part 2.
But I thought you didn't play video games.
No, this is not a video game.
Oh, what is it?
This is a computer game.
Wait, what's the difference between a video game that you play on a computer and a video game that you play on a console? So what you're basically saying is that there is a difference between a video game that you play on your computer and a video game you play on a console? That sounds very elitist.
No, but like back in the day, there were different, like you had some computer games that wasn't available anywhere but on the computer.
There was no such thing as a console back in the day.
No.
The very first games were on computers, then it was like Atari, and then...
No, this one came out in the night, like... Part 2 must have come out like
I mean,
in the
I played
90s.
a lot of computer games. Like there were some arcade games that my dad got for the computer before we ever had like a console. Mm-hmm. One of them called like Altered Beasts or something, which is an arcade game that you played in the arcade. Then then they made a computer version of it. But then there was also a game called Myst, which was a computer game.
But that's
it was kind of like a first person
That's like when CD-ROMs were around. This one is on diskettes.
Oh, so you're wait a minute. No, Myst was on a diskette, dude.
Was it?
Myst. The first version of Myst was an old ass game from the very early 90s, dude. So this is like 1990, 1991.
Maybe it was the second Myst that was on.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around long enough to be. I played a game called Seamus, which was like a computer game that was basically just like an icon, and then there was another one that was literally just an @ symbol in a black screen, and then you move I forget the name of the I think it's called like, it's not called Spelunker or something, but it's like a cave game where basically like it's the @ symbol and it's just in a black screen, and then you use the directional things to find your way out of a dark cave, basically. And you find it's basically a maze, but that's how far back computer games go for me, dude. But not that I'm much older than you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm like a couple years old.
But this one was on diskette. It was like one of those LucasArts games.
All right, you are riddling the people.
Nobody played. Who played Day of the Tentacle here?
Well, anyway, I never played Day of the Tentacle. So anyway, what does that have to do with George Washington? Let's bring this back to the cherry bounce.
Because in the game,
let's bring it back around, Marius.
these like tentacle aliens come to the Maniac Mansion thing, and you get transported back in time. You have to find a way to get. Oh, there's like a parallel. There's like in the past and in the future. And then one of the things is you have to interact with George Washington and you get him to chop down the cherry tree or something. Because if you chop it down, then it's not going to be there in the future when somebody is going to land in it or something. I can't remember. It's some crazy stuff.
So we are right. This is all about chopping down his father's cherry tree. His first biographer, named Mason Locke Weems, created this fiction to portray George Washington as exceptionally honest. So it was his first biographer that made up this story. So I knew it was complete horseshit. He made up this story, and then they used it as like a fable of like for little kids to like, you should be like George Washington because he was so honest that he chopped down his dad's cherry. No, 100%, but it's not true. It never happened. That didn't happen. I guess apparently the wooden teeth didn't happen. Although wooden teeth does not seem like putting wooden teeth into a moist and hot environment would be a very smart thing to do, seeing as like it would grow mold probably, wood frickin' warps with too much water. Like that just doesn't seem like a very
but some
good
wood is like antimicrobial or whatever. Like what is it? It's like
well, antimicrobial is a real term for warding off
cedar is
Yeah, cedar. Well, cedar also works to ward off moths as well. So that's why they have like little cedar things you put in your closet so that your sweaters, your cashmere doesn't get moth-worn. But you know what? Let's actually make the cocktail now. This has been a crazy long aside into George Washington's life and Day of the Tentacle and computer games.
right.
So let's actually make this drink now. For those of you that are thinking about going into the comments and complaining, just remember, below are some chapters that you can just move forward through, and you don't have to watch all of this Marius and Leandro banter.
Yeah, you can use that to edit the video by skipping forward. Just edit those parts out.
Fast forward through the video so that you can see the parts that you want and you can ignore the parts that you don't want. It's a handy little feature that we have here on YouTube now, so just use it.
Engagement is good though.
I don't want to hear your mouth, is what I'm trying to say in a more polite way. Now, the recipe at the Comstock uses these particular brandied cherries. These are actually brandied cherries, so they're sitting in a syrup, and we're going to use the syrup and then also, I guess, garnish the cocktail with the cherry.
Well, I guess you could have used those Argonaut cherries too, maybe.
Yeah, they're in syrup though. These are actually sitting in brandy. They're sitting in brandy. So basically, the brandy has like extracted the sugar. The brandy and then a little bit of sugar has extracted the cherry juice out. So it's created like actual brandy. We're gonna need. Have I even opened this yet?
I don't know. I need it.
There we go. So it's like a syrup, but it's not super, super, super thick. It's not the same thickness as you would have with sugar. All right, let's make this. That's what we're gonna do here, okay? 1 dash of Angostura bitters. It's kind of an old lemon, but I think it's fine. 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. 3/4 of an ounce of our cherry syrup. These cherries are actually kind of expensive too, so if you want to use another cherry syrup, I do not blame you. Say,
all that expensive juice just gone to waste.
Occupational hazard. So 3/4 of an ounce of our cherry juice. Did I put the simple syrup away? I probably did. Whoa. Hoo-ah. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. 1.5 ounces of, they use 4 Roses bourbon, so that's what we're doing. We're using the small batch. If you have the cheaper, it's like the yellow top, use that. So this is what I got on hand. They use 4 Roses. I have 4 Roses.
I haven't used that in a while, huh?
Oh, that is tasty, dude. Yeah. I don't know why I'm walking around like I don't know what I'm doing. Give it a shake. You know, I think I'm gonna go with something a little higher volume, but it's not, this might be too high volume though. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna go with our original plan. This might be a little bit low volume for this cocktail, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. So the garnish is gonna be this cherry right here. We're just gonna put it at the bottom of the glass so that you have a little treat when you're done.
That's new.
Is that new?
We usually put it in last.
Well, that kind of works out. I didn't reserve too much cocktail. And then the cherry bounces that I have seen in the media have been a lot more cherry forward, but this is the exact type of cherry. This is the cherry that they use at the Comstock. But when I look at it, it's like a lot more red. But you would think that you would get that redness from like a Luxardo or a Amarena cherry, not.
Maybe they cheat the photos.
Yeah, well, because it's brandy, dude. It's brandied cherry, so it's sitting in brandy.
Well, maybe they cheat the photos to make it.
They definitely cheat the photos, but that's why I don't like most cocktail photography. Is that like the photos are they're cheats. They're not like actually what you get. And we're gonna do about 1 ounce.
So it's a Royale, huh?
It is a Royale, the Cherry Bounce, the Comstock Saloon's Cherry Bounce. Cheers. It's goddamn fantastic. Oh my God, it's so good. Nicely balanced. You taste the brandied cherryness. I have eaten a couple of these cherries since we've been shooting, so I know what it tastes like now. But then you also have that nice dry sweetness of the champagne. It is not the most complex thing, but it is fantastically good. So there it is, guys. The Cherry Bounce. Well, really, actually, I should be like, there it is, guys. The Comstock Saloon's Cherry Bounce.